Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Love the Ride podcast. Super excited for tonight's guest. He's a young talent out of Cambridge and he had a breakout year in 2023 at the Waka 100. From there, he went on to the UCI Eliminator World Cup and won the first World Cup on debut. Lochie, let's kick things off. Who are you and why do you love to ride?
I've always loved to ride, to be honest. I started out at a very young age racing BMX, and then sort of as I got older, just fell in love with getting out on the big wheels on the mountain bike, and love the feeling of being out in nature and just ripping up the trails. To be honest,
Legendary. When did you? How long were you racing BMX for?
I started pretty much from when I could ride a bike. I was at the track, so from about 3 or 4, I was at the BMX track, and then raced right through until I was 16, and then sort of made the decision then to sort of more focus on the mountain biking stuff.
Awesome. Where it's at, mountain bike?
Yeah. I want to go back.
How's your mountain bike journey been so far?
Yeah, really good. I just love that there's so much more opportunity on the mountain bike. So many different types of racing and styles of riding that you can get into. So yeah, haven't looked back since.
What's the favourite style of mountain bike riding?
Oh, it varies every day. I still love going out for a long endurance ride, but then I also love ripping up some downhill tracks as well. So yeah, it depends on the day.
Awesome. And so what does riding give to you? Like what's the mental or emotion? Is it social? Well, like, what does it for you?
I think it's the freedom, to be honest. When I'm out on my bike, nothing really sort of else matters, and I'm just out there riding my bike, having fun. And yeah, along the way, I've met some great mates, ones that I'll have for the rest of my life. And so yeah, of course, there's a social aspect as well, but yeah, mostly it's just getting out there, freedom, and just loving every moment of it.
Totally awesome. I first met you, I think it was in 22 at the first ever Eliminator National Champs, and pretty much took Anton Cooper and Ben Oliver to the line.
Yeah.
Which is, for those who don't know Anton Cooper, he's a professional racer and Ben's not far behind him, who's in the crit scene at the moment. But tell us about that journey. Like you started off at that Eliminator. Nobody's really done that in New Zealand before. And then obviously rolling into 23 and 24. Take us through it.
Yeah. To be honest, right from the start, I was sort of frothing the opportunity. Like it sort of almost played into my skill set a little bit with the BMX background, and it's sort of like a BMX race on mountain bikes. So yeah, I was so keen to get into it that first Eliminator in 2022 around the streets of Rotorua, and yeah, so just from there it's just become something that I just love. Like I just love that style of racing, and yeah, what it gives.
Yeah, what's your highlights been of the Rotorua races? We had 3 of them now. I've particularly got on when you sent it off the wall ride, like back on the 4-cross days. But what's been the highlight for you?
Yeah, it's hard to go past that one. Passing someone around the top of a wall ride is something I wasn't really planning on doing, but sort of happened that way and worked out for me. So yeah. It is very hard to go past that.
Could you talk us through like what we like to set the scene for everybody? You got about a 50-meter straight. You're hooking to a pretty much a right angle, a right hand turn, and there's a wall rider who could take the lower line, which is flat on the grass. Talk us through that decision making, because I think you're like 3rd wheel, maybe 4th wheel even. Like it was mental. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so I'll take you right back to the start, and it was the first race of the day. So we'll set the scene. It was the first race of the day, and I was just got caught asleep on the line, and I missed the whistle. So right from the start, I was out the back, and I was like, "Oh, jeepers! I don't want to go out early, go out in the first round after on the podium last year." So I was like, "Oh, jeepers! We've got some work to do here." So we come around the first lap, and I knew I've been hitting the wall ride pretty good in practice. So I was like, "Oh, I'm going to have to come in pretty fast." And the 2 boys in front of me sort of checked up a bit before the wall ride, and I sort of wasn't expecting it. And then I sort of bunny hopped into the wall ride, and as they've checked up, they've gone low, and I've just come around and sort of flown out the top because I sort of had nowhere to go at the exit. So yeah, it was quite the experience, and I don't think the boys in front of me were expecting it either. So it was bit of excitement.
Yeah, I can't quite recall how you landed it. Was it clean? Because I just remember everybody just like freaking out. Was you a
Yeah,
couple of meters up in the air?
yeah. So I literally flew straight out the top of it. I got a foot out in the air and sort of, I landed it. Didn't actually dab a foot, but yeah, sort of did a sketchy little 1 footer in the air and somehow rode out of it from about third to first. So yeah, we'll take and run with it.
Yeah, and how did the rest of that heat go? Did you pull off that one?
Yeah, after that, the boys I think were in shock a bit, and I sort of was able to ride away and finish the rest of the lap pretty clean and got the win in the first heat. And sort of carried on from there.
Yeah, I know there's a few memes or something that came up with referencing that wall ride on the four cross back in the days. I think the OTB podcast guys had it up, and like
Yeah,
everybody was referring to that wall ride.
yeah,
So it's pretty
yeah.
rad.
No, it was
Um, so look, you've gone through that. You've gone through that first heat, and then it's pretty chaotic from there. Tell us how it all works.
yeah. So it's pretty flat out. What I think a lot of people sort of don't realize with Eliminator is you're almost, especially at once you get to sort of international and World Cup level, you're pretty much riding for about an hour straight, hour and 15 minutes straight. It's almost like a cross country race, but with just 4 or 5 hard efforts, 2 minute efforts as you sort of go on.
Yeah, but like BMX in a way. So
Yeah,
you're rolling
yeah,
through your
exactly.
motos.
Yeah. You're sort of on the rollers warming up, then you're racing, then you're cooling down, then you're on the rollers again warming up, and then you're racing again. So yeah, you sort of what I don't think a lot of people realize is you don't get a lot of time in between, and it's sort of you're trying to recover as fast as you can to still get back out there in a matter of time before you have to do it all over again.
Yeah, so you went through that day. Could have all gone wrong at that wall ride. It didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
You've won the race. You've won the national title, and then you've gone to Indonesia. You've gone on a world campaign. I was a little bit involved working with the guys in Belgium with that, trying to get you
yeah,
over there and seeing what we could
yeah.
do. But
Mm.
um, what happened in Indonesia?
Oh, it it all just seemed to work out for me. I came there sort of missing the first 2 rounds of the World Cup. I was just been working hard at home, targeting Indonesia, doing a lot of prep, a lot of heat prep going into that one because I knew how hot it was going to be. Yeah, I knew coming in I was fresh, and all the preparation I could. So yeah, I was just so keen to get out there and just see where I compare after winning nationals. The fire was really lit, and I was like, sort of like, okay, maybe we're onto something here. This could sort of be my thing. Like, sort of might be what I needed to sort of specialize in where I want to take my riding, sort of thing.
Yeah, and so you're only 19 then, weren't you?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
is that right? So
yeah.
you've travelled offshore for your first race. You've gone over to a World Cup, UCI World Cup. You've cracked into it. You've rolled through the heats. Talk us through the final.
It was pretty much what I expected. The two of the boys, they got out pretty good, and they've been getting out all day. And I struggled a little bit with my starts in Indonesia. They weren't quite where I wanted them to be. Just sort of, yeah, I don't know what sort of was happening there, but sort of struggled off the start a little bit. So I knew that they were going to probably take it out hard. But what sort of plays into my skill set is sort of the track speed and speed through all the obstacles on the track. So I was sort of a big thing for me was just being patient. So like a lot of times something's going to happen in front of you, or something's going to open up, or something like that. So I was just trying to be as patient as I could and sort of almost wait for something, but not let any chances go at the same time. And then yeah, sort of rolled through the first lap, and it was sort of went pretty cruisy for most of it, and then sort of just that last obstacle through the rock garden, and Tio in front blew a tire, and that sort of opened the race right up. I was sort of looking to make my move over the next sort of step off feature that I'd sort of been hitting pretty fast all day, and I was sort of ready to make my move, and then that happened. It sort of solidified that for me, and I sort of was like, well, this is my chance. I'm going to have to go long with another lap to go, but yeah, it sort of opened up, and I took the chance, and then sort of never looked back from there.
Yeah, and then history was written. First
Yeah,
Eliminator
yeah,
World Cup winner for New Zealand. So well
yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah.
pretty bloody rad. I remember watching it live, so
Mm,
I
mm.
think I was messaging you pretty quick after that. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah,
wicked.
yeah,
I think you had some fellow Kiwis over there in the women's as well. Jess Manchester, who works for us now, back working with
yeah,
us, and
yeah,
Amelie McKay.
yeah,
Must have been pretty cool to have some other Kiwis over there to roll around with. Because as a young athlete racing overseas, there's so many unknowns.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So it was my first time racing overseas as well. I've done a little bit of racing for BMX overseas and Aussie and stuff like that when I was younger, but sort of my first time going overseas by myself to race. So yeah, just having especially at World Champs later in the year, having some fellow Kiwis was epic to sort of do our track practice with and just sort of bounce off ideas and things like that. So yeah, no, it was real cool.
Yeah, and I think Jess might have got through to the finals, the semis. She was pretty close. Yeah, pretty close there. Yeah. And rest of the campaign, where else did you head to?
So after that, I did 3 more World Cups. I went to Belgium, I went to Turkey, and then a World Cup in Germany, and then World Champs in Germany. Sort of had a bit of a mixed bag of results. A crash in Turkey, and then out pretty early in Belgium after some big travel days and bit of fatigue, bit of added fatigue that probably wasn't expecting. But yeah, all good experiences, and couldn't quite recreate the win again, but some good results sprinkled in there.
Yeah, and then I can recall at the World Championships, you were in the top 5 fastest times.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah,
you were featuring in all the videos from practice, whipping over some of the features like
yeah.
nobody else was. What happened in the qualifier?
Yes. Worlds was all going pretty well. Like I was sort of feeling really fast. The track sort of suited me, and everything was sort of lining up. I was having so much fun on my bike. A big thing for me on the practice days is just getting out there and having fun on my bike. I like to do things a little bit differently, and then, yeah, as you say, I was sort of trying to show off some style and do some tricks here and there on some of the jumps over the course, just to keep it fun. It is World Champs, but at the same time, keeping it fun and stuff like that was a big thing for me to try and be the best or have the best race I could. And then yeah, so moving through to the qualifiers, feeling really good. The legs had come around really well after a couple of week training block beforehand in Belgium. So yeah, got to the qualifiers and then was feeling good. And then about 3 pedals into my qualifier, my chain snapped. So that was all she wrote for me at Worlds.
You don't get another chance.
No, it's cutthroat. That's it.
As a young athlete, how do you deal with all of that? Like, there's quite a big crowd. It was quite intense. They're like right there. You're built up on the broadcast. I don't even know if you know any of that stuff. You watched it afterwards, but they've they know that you're one of the contenders.
Yeah,
You've won a World Cup.
yeah.
What's going on? Like, how do you process all that?
Yeah, I can't lie. It was hard, but it was really hard. I sort of couldn't even ride out the rest of the track. It's not like I crashed and could have got up and gone. It was sort of taken out my control, and I just sort of had to walk off the track through the crowds of people. And obviously they're all speaking German to me, and I'm sort of not knowing what to say. And yeah, I'm sort of every emotion's going through my head at that time. So it's pretty hard, and it was pretty rough. Pretty rough time, to be honest. Like I was so excited for the race, and to go out so early in something that's sort of not really in my control was pretty hard to take in.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's pretty crazy, especially with that crowd. Did they buy you a beer or anything? There's a bit of beer
Yeah,
flying around with that crowd.
yeah. I had about 5 or 6 beers bought for me. So yeah, the Germans were all over it. The atmosphere there was unreal. Like for like in Indonesia, the crowds were pretty cool, but yeah, at this race in Ireland, there was about 30,000 people in such a small area, so everyone was packed in up to the barriers, screaming and shouting. It was so cool.
Yeah, just wish we could only have crowds like that in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So just going a bit beyond the tape on the course, and like you're into your racing. You're only 19. Had you
Yep.
left school at that time? Like
Yeah. Yeah, it was my first year out of school. Yeah.
first year out of school, you try to train. I know you're fundraising. Like how did all of that come together to make that trip possible?
So it was a lot. I did a lot of work. So sort of pretty much as soon as I finished school, I worked all summer full time, just to knowing I wanted to go to Europe. So I was like, I need all the money I can get for my first trip over there. So I worked all summer, training as well, which it wasn't easy. I had to make a lot of sacrifices throughout that time, sort of choosing work and then training and then sleep and then recovering, and that was pretty much all I did. So yeah, there was a lot of sacrifices made, but it all sort of came together at the end, so which made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, and so who was in your corner helping you with all that? Like, it's a lot to package together for a 19-year-old sort of young
Yeah,
athlete trying to get onto the world scene.
yeah. So my coach and my parents were probably the two biggest supporters. My mum and dad have always supported me throughout any sporting pathway I've taken, and especially this one, knowing that sort of I could have a chance here. They were sort of all over it, trying to do everything they can to get me to Europe as well. So yeah, they've been huge.
Yeah, how was that phone call home after Indonesia?
I was unreal. Um, yeah, mum and dad couldn't wait to get on the phone with me afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was unreal. I
yeah,
remember that
right.
for the rest of my life. Yeah,
What are the hard lessons? Like you've obviously talked about some of the disappointment through the highs and lows of traveling
yeah,
around the circuit, but
yeah,
what are some of those really hard lessons or memorable moments you've had sort of through that year last year?
yeah. I think yeah, no other moment was harder than after Worlds, snapping my chain, and it was so cool to see how all the Kiwis in Europe sort of get behind each other, and support each other. Like Armley and Jess were right there afterwards, just being with me and supporting me, even though they still had their race to do. Yeah, they were there for me, and which was super cool. Just yeah, so just to see how everyone supports each other, because we've all got the same goal, to race and live out our dreams. So yeah, no, it was real cool.
Yeah, and what was the traveling with the bike like? Did you do the train mission or were you in a van?
Nah, I was on the trains. Oh, we had some unreal missions on the trains. One of my mates, Bailey, yeah, we had one day we had about 17 hours on the train, to get to one bus, the only bus that would take us into Chamonix, and unfortunately we missed that bus, and there wasn't going to be another one till next week. Yeah, were stuck in a predicament in the middle of the night, and we ended up hitchhiking up a mountain in the Pyrenees,
Oh
which was
shit. Holy
yeah,
heck.
which was cool. Like in the middle of the night, we're just walking our bike bags across the Swiss to France border. And yeah, it would have been for them to come back in the morning to look at the cameras of these two random blokes walking across the border with their bike bags would be, yeah, would be something, I reckon.
So they were bagged and not boxed.
Yeah, they were bags.
Oh, saving grace. Yeah,
Yeah,
I went to finale in Italy for the Enduro World Series final, 2016, and that was my first overseas trip with a bike. And we landed in Genoa, and mate, it's just different, eh?
yeah,
It's not like New Zealand. And I ended up getting in this private taxi, like, and this guy was in this Merc. It was this black Merc. It was just like the Italian job. There's roadworks. We're going through these tunnels, and it was like 30, which is miles per hour. And this dude, I'm looking at speed, it's like 70, 80, and we're just like ripping through the traffic. And I
yeah,
had to get to the central station in Genoa, and he just like pulls up on the forecourt, like, no, it's a no parking area. It is just mental, no regard for the rules.
yeah,
Breaks are smoking, gets out, gets your bike out. He's like, off you go. Just
yeah,
like, shit. And like, I don't speak Italian.
yeah, yeah,
um, and it's just like mental. Like, I remember sort of like wandering my way around, and Google Translate wasn't really cool back then.
yeah,
I learned a few words, and then got to the train station, and I was in Italy. They wanted the bikes at the back of the train and stuff. So I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. I'm going to roll down the back, do the, follow the thing. And it's some Aussie dude out of nowhere just like grabbed me. He was like, nah, mate, you're going up here. Those guys will roll you. Like,
yeah,
and there was all these like thug young, like they're only like 16. I was like, oh, sweet,
yeah, yeah,
whatever. I was in the police, obviously. But he's like, yeah, they full on roll people, knives, everything in the back of the train is super well known. I was just like, oh.
yeah,
Then again, the train got into finale, and then I was just like, I was still mind blowing, and it's like, walked in, and like EWS was still sitting up. So all the people I was going to meet from EWS were like not even on site yet. Um,
yeah,
I remember just like thinking I was going to the supermarket, but then it closed at like, I don't know, it was something like 2 o'clock and it was closed to like 7 and there's just nobody around. It was
Yeah.
just like the whole thing's like such a mental experience.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was too proud to ride an e-bike back then. And it was like e-bikes are just coming out of New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I remember going on we're going on a media trip for EWS to go see all the stages, and we had to go to NATO base. And so for finale to NATO base was, I think, like 1,000 meters plus. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, I don't need an e-bike. I'm just going to ride. It's going to ride my bike. And so I'm like going along to not realize how massive the hills are over there. And like Europe,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
climbing a hill here in New Zealand's maybe biggest one's 40 minutes. These are like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So like just kind of loose, those overseas trips, especially your first one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of the stories that I've come home with are unreal. Yeah.
Yeah. Share us another one, mate, while we're talking then.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I've got a similar one. Another taxi story. I was in Turkey on my way home after the race. So going from Turkey, and then I think I was flying to Belgium. I think to do my Worlds camp there. So yeah, rolled up in the taxi. I trained from Sakarya, which was where the race was, back to Istanbul. So I trained back there, and then I was just needed to get a taxi to the airport. And I was sort of looking through taxis and trying to ring people, and no one really spoke English, and Uber wasn't working for me. So anyway, I managed to flag down a taxi, just sort of your standard taxi, run of the mill taxi, not really suitable for a bike bag. The Turkish fella, he was adamant. Nah, no worries, I'll take you. And I was like, okay. So he half puts my bike bag in the back of his car, half sticking out, and sort of tapes the boot down with a bit of duct tape. Oh, not sure if they call it duct tape in Turkey, but sort of similar sort of stuff. And then I was like, oh, here we go. My bike's probably going to fall out on the way, but so I'm fearing for my life, and I'm like, hopefully this guy takes it easy, but no such thing. This guy was literally driving about 200 kilometers an hour up this motorway, in and out of traffic. I think when I tried to translate, I am in no rush, he thought I was in a rush. So he's doing everything in his power to get me to the airport on time, but
Yeah.
in reality, I've got like 6 hours until I need to be there. So and I'm fearing my bike's going to fall out the back. And then, the same thing. We get there, and he pretty much throws my bike out and tell me, good day, thank you. And yeah, I'm on my way. So yeah.
It's just, it's eye opening, as going over there. You ever see
Yeah.
the photos with bikes on the roof and they're just holding on to them out the window? It's just,
Yeah. Well, I thought that was going to be the case. I was like, well, where is my bike going to go?
yeah. So, looking ahead, like you haven't raced the World Cups. I think the World Champs has just rolled out 2 weeks ago for Eliminator.
Yeah.
What's next, mate?
Yeah, so it was a tough decision to make at the start of the year. Sort of been battling a shoulder injury for sort of the last part of last year, and sort of something I picked up in Europe, and then sort of just rode through it. And then through our New Zealand season, sort of was battling with it a little bit, and had some problems with it. So sort of had to make the tough decision at the start of the year to sort of get that right. With the plan to sort of be take a year off from racing in Europe, and going international, just to get that right, and focus on some career stuff for my career after racing. Sort of trying to make switched on decisions to have the fallback plan in place already, before I sort of go back. So just been rehabbing the shoulder, and working on the career, which has been cool. Still been riding my bike, but definitely hard to be at home watching the World Cups.
Yeah, it's called adulting, mate. Yeah, starting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, so can you see yourself back in XCE, like say the Eliminator style of UCI racing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where I am best suited, and that's what suits me. And now that I've had that taste of it last year, it's made me so much more hungry to get back there and sort of win some more races, hopefully.
So you got to sort of line up your first race of 2026 as the one you're going to win.
Yeah, hopefully.
I
So
haven't actually seen the schedule yet, so I don't even know where they're racing next year.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's awesome to know you're going back. And any other sort of disciplines of the mountain bike that you're going to sort of go after as well?
I'd love to get to an Enduro World Cup as well. Sort of, I love that style of racing as well. So I think for next year, the main focus will be XCE, getting to the whole World Cup season, with the goal being world champs as well. So try and maximize that. But if I can get to an Enduro World Cup as well, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, just sort of trying to get over there and do as much as racing as I can, really.
Totally. And so, like, you're planning that campaign now. What's it going to take? Like, what's the finances for something like this? And how hard is it to plan the logistics?
Oh, it's so hard. Being a privateer and mostly self funded, it all sort of comes down to my planning. The guys that run the Eliminator World Cups, from City Mountain Bike, are super helpful. They sort of help us out with travel and accommodation, and working that sort of thing out. So that's been crucial for me. Sort of otherwise I would have been a bit screwed, really. Going last year with booking stuff and knowing where the races were and just things like that. Like being at the same hotel as all the other races is so much easier, and then people are going to the same places you want to go and things like that. So that's been huge. So yeah, I'll reach out to them again for next year. Sort of base my season around that, and then yeah, just people that I've met in Europe and friends that I've got going over there. Just trying to work all in and around that, and yeah, get the best out of or the most out of my season.
Yeah, and you mentioned before you're working on your career. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm actually going to go joining the police. So
I could talk you out of that.
yeah. I thought you might say something along those lines, but
Go
yeah.
do it, do it.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm going to college, at the start of August, and then that'll be finished up, by the end of the year, which is cool. And then yeah, sort of back to focus on the mountain biking stuff.
Sports Association, mate. They've got international athlete grants.
Yes.
There you go. Not much. I got one for 24-hour world championships. I think it's like $1,500 or something. It might be more now, but yeah. Police Association sports is pretty wicked.
Mm.
Heaps of Ironman athletes that are going through that program as well. So
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of freedom, yeah, for sport once you sort of get through college as well, which is cool.
yeah. Oh, enjoy that. It's a
Mm.
it's a journey. It's a journey.
Yeah. Mm.
So don't volunteer to get pepper sprayed. It's worse when you go to have a shower later. So that's another
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, we do this little closing thing at the end of everything. We're going to ask you sort of our little fast five questions. Basically, we're just going to fire them off, and first thing that comes to your head, we'll rip into it. So,
Yeah.
what's that one thing you can recall when you won that World Cup? What was that one thought?
Is this real? I honestly couldn't believe it. Just yeah, being my first World Cup, I had no idea where I was going to stack up. I had no idea if I was even going to be close or if I'm just going to get absolutely smoked. So yeah, to cross the line, and I think you can sort of see by that my celebration across the line was pretty poor, just because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just fully shocked that I was coming along across the line first.
No, you needed to take some Sammy Maxwell lessons on how to cross the
Yeah, yeah,
finish line, eh?
yeah. I'll have to get some tips. Yeah.
Um, what's your top tip for somebody that's thinking about racing an eliminator for the first time?
Just get into it, really. There's no sort of other way to prepare yourself to race Eliminator than racing Eliminator, and be ready for anything to happen. I think it's a discipline where, there can be as many favourites as you want, but anyone can win on the day. There's so much that can happen throughout the race day, so just being ready for anything to happen, and then yeah, sort of being able to make changes on the fly to best prepare yourself. Yeah,
Hey, what's your favourite trail here in Rotorua?
yeah. I've had a lot of time to ride my enduro bike lately, so that's been real cool. Been off the XC bike a bit, so yeah, been on the enduro bike heaps. Yeah, it's hard to pick one in Rotorua, but right now I'd probably put 2TR up there pretty highly.
Yeah. What makes that trail so good?
Oh, it's got a bit of everything. Some cool, fast little jumps, and yeah, a bit of everything. And so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty rad trail. It's pretty natural. Like
Yeah,
it's not machine built, and it's
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like
lots of
it's got the roots, but it's got the flow.
yeah,
Not quite sure about that little realignment they've done to cross that first road from
yeah,
the top section, but that sort of second section
mm,
is just balls out fast and just
yeah,
like yeah.
yeah. It's
Even like we put the volcanic epic through there last year, and it was just such a rad trail.
yeah,
Freaked a few
yeah,
people out, but
yeah,
I think it's grade 4, isn't it?
yeah. I
So
think yeah.
yeah, it's a wicked trail. I think that was a byproduct of Crankworks and Maxis doing a product, the tire. I think
Mm,
some sort of
yeah,
tire,
yeah,
and that's how
oh,
that trail got built. So that's pretty wicked.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
No,
what's post ride? What's your city
yeah.
guilty pleasure? What do you go to?
Oh, you're gonna have to hear me out here. The white chocolate and cranberry biscuits from Countdown. That's usually the go-to.
Shit,
Uh,
yeah, the Pam's one. Oh no, they're not Pam's. They're Countdown.
nah, just the bakery ones.
Oh
I
yeah,
I I can't go into a Countdown after a ride without getting a packet of those.
yeah, nice.
Mm.
Um, have you got a dream riding destination you haven't ticked off yet?
It's pretty hard to go past Whistler, eh? Sort of you see on you've seen it on all the mountain bike videos since I was 8 years old. So sort of would be pretty cool to get over there and ride there,
Yeah.
and
Have you
even just Canada in general.
just fired off that pink bike? That crazy French dude,
Yeah,
that Canadian French dude on I think it was in Whistler,
mm,
and he's just going off with those young fellas. Have you seen that? And he
yeah,
throws his
yeah,
bike in the creek.
yeah.
Like, oh, that just popped up in my head. Hey, we're also going to do this thing where, what's a question you want to ask your next guest? Not telling who they are, but what's a question we're going to ask them?
Um, I reckon if they're out on a ride, what's their best snack food that's not your typical riding gels or bars? I reckon.
Yeah, like somebody rolls out at Waka 100, they're rolling out like cheeseburgers or something. I think
Yeah, yeah,
Jamie Harbour from down in Wellington was rolling out like cheeseburgers and rice. And it's like 1 year he had cans of rice pudding. It's like,
yeah,
dude, do you roll around with a can opener in your pocket? Like, what's
yeah.
going on? I've seen some mental stuff like,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Lewis Hamilton, his dad, Dave Hamilton.
yeah.
He did the Walker a few years ago, quite a few years ago, and he was at every aid station. His wife was meeting him with Heineken. Jerry was meeting with a Heineken and chicken tikka masala. Things
Epic.
people eat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I won't hold you up for too much longer, but what's coming up next on your calendar? Like, what's your next bike thing that you're doing?
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit hard with police college, but probably the next
No,
big
it's
one.
not. There's trails out that you can ride out the back of the college, straight out
Oh
the
yeah.
back.
Oh, I'll be riding for sure. But in terms of racing, it will probably be the Walker will be next for me, sort of with the Eliminator and then the Walker. So yeah, that's sort of the focus now.
Doing the 10K?
Yeah, probably maybe the 5 kids
What
race.
about Hyundai going for the nationals?
Yeah,
Marathon nationals? Yeah, sweet.
yeah, 100 again. Yeah,
I think there's 30, 40 riders already in that elite national champs category. And all the protagonists still haven't entered, so it's
yeah,
everybody else. So it's going to be pretty solid day.
yeah. Nah, it always is.
Oh, it's pretty wicked. I think if I had it my way, I'd ride the Waka 100 again. But
Yeah,
I think it's been 12 years since I rode it.
yeah,
Been busy building it up. Hey,
yeah.
any shout outs you'd like to make? Well, obviously there's been a few people that have supported you over the time, and man, it's been a journey in 2.5 years. So who do you want to give a shout out to?
Obviously, can't go past my mum and dad. They've been huge for me. They were pretty much the sole reason I got to Europe. So them, my coach Hayden McCormick, he's been huge, helping me get to.
No way.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the roadie Hayden.
yeah,
Sorry, yeah, it's Road A. Yeah,
yeah.
it's Hayden, your coach. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
solid.
Yeah, no, he was massive, getting me in shape. So
So
yeah,
did you have Sam Gay sort of giving you advice as well? Was those two hang out together, don't they?
yeah. Sort of. I met Sam and Leger and had a mean yarn to him, and we sort of connected over Hayden, which was cool.
Yeah.
And then he's sort of been in my corner. He's messaged me a couple of times and sort of go back and forth a wee bit, which is cool. So yeah, and then obviously Nick Adams as well, supporting me from the day one in New Zealand, but also going overseas with Performance Racing. So yeah, that's been awesome as well.
Yeah, and are you still with Performance Racing? You still going along with their project?
Yep. So yeah, still chipping away with them, and I'll race for them over our New Zealand season.
Yeah, rad. And where can people follow your journey when you go back to the world circuit next year?
Best place to be my Instagram, just at Lochie Brown. I try to post up there as much as I can, with the cool stories and things that I get up to outside of racing as well. Because as we've talked about, there's so much that goes on in Europe outside of the racing, and just getting to the races for a lot of the time. So yeah, that's probably the best one.
Rad. I totally appreciate your time, man. And I think for those that have watched or listened into the first episode that I did with Chris Randall, you're the exact reason why we sort of put the energy into doing the Eliminator and seeing that pathway happen. Like, I think, it's definitely not a financial money making event for us. And like that moment when you saw you win, even going to the world champs and World Cup was pretty wicked for Eliminator, but actually seeing that win, and that sort of paid off all the effort we put into it. Because we definitely a passion event, that one for us. So
wow.
Well done, man.
And like you say, without that event in 2022, I would have never really found Eliminator, or there wouldn't have been that pathway. So I've got to thank you guys just as much as you do me for creating that for me and creating that spark. So yeah.
You gonna drag a few more riders through next year?
Yeah, I hope so. It's such a cool discipline. When there needs to be more people racing and more people watching. It deserves it.
Rad, man. All right, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you for your time.
Sweet as.
Really appreciate it, and best of luck with Police College and going back to the World Cups next year.
Awesome. Cheers.
Legend, mate. Thank you.